Hi, it's Ash. Welcome to my channel for runners that are dedicated to looking after their bodies. You are here because you're wanting a good yoga practice, you're wanting something to do when you're non-running day, on your rest day, maybe a little bit of intensity, but not too much. This is what we're going to do, and we're going to start at the top of your mat, and we're going to start in chair pose. So we're going to go through a little bit of a yoga sequence. That's a nice sequence for that, as I've mentioned. Perfect for the non-running days, and but it's not too much of a rest, it's not too much of it easy, so you feel like you've done something. So we're going to come to the top of your mat with your feet underneath your hips and just have a little bit of a move about and get a nice good connection with the floor. Spread the toes and push the big toes into the floor. Take the hands above the head as if you're holding a beach ball above the head. Reaching the fingertips up and taking a breath in. As you breathe out, send the hips backwards as if you're sitting down into a chair. Keep your head lifting upwards though, so your spine is long, and sit down into a nice chair shape here. So a nice chair pose. Have a little bit of movement if you need to. Settle into the left foot, into the right foot, and then settle into your breathing, because we're going straight into some work on those thighs, so the quads and the glutes, the bum muscles, but also into the calves and the shins. You'll feel that maybe in the shins. Keep your gaze forwards, keep relaxing your shoulders, work into the shoulders and the core as well, so keep your abs slightly engaged, keep breathing in and out through the nose. If you need a pause at any point, you can come up, but we're going to hold it for 2 more breaths in and out. So 1 more breath in and breath out. As you breathe out, slowly start to stand up, have a little bit of a wiggle, feel the heat, that residual kind of after effect. So that dissolving of the burn, so the burn starts quite intense and then it dissolves. And then from here, we're going to place the hands towards the hips. And then from here, we're going to put the weight into the right foot and step the left foot to the back of the mat, but the hips are still facing forwards. And we want to feel it to the point, want to feel the width between the feet to the point that feels like a good stretch in that top of the left thigh area, but not too intense. The back heel is up, but it's pushing down towards the floor. Keep that right knee bending forwards. And then from here, let the hips sink down, but lift the spine up, and then start to take the arms up again as if you're holding a beach ball up towards the sky. Okay, and just have a really slow pulse with this. So really, it might even not be able to see the pulse that I'm doing, but I just want you to settle down into that front foot. I'm pushing my right knee forwards as I push my left heel back really slightly. I'm lifting my fingertips up towards the sky, so lift them up. Keep your gaze in front, or if you feel like you could get a little bit of a back bend, you could reach your forehead up towards the sky and open up your chest towards the sky as you get a little bit of a back bend. But if not, if that's too intense for your neck or your back, come more forwards. Keep breathing in and out through the nose and just settling into this shape. How does it feel? Always keep it soft and fluid, so if you start to get too intense, you just move an area, you come out a little bit. We're building strength mentally and physically. So take a breath in. As you breathe out, bring your back heel, so the left heel, back on an angle. So that's actually my left, but it might now start to look like my right. So don't worry about mirroring me, because we've stepped over. We've stepped that left foot back. So from here, now what we're going to do is open the arms out into that warrior 2 shape. So the right hand forward, left hand back. So then from here, thinking about stretching the fingertips away from each other, but keeping the shoulders soft. So let the shoulders just have a little bit of a wiggle, keep breathing. If you feel too intense in the stretch in the inner thighs, you can always bring the feet closer together. Focus your gaze over that front hand, and lifting the head and chest away from the pelvis. So there's that sense of alignment through the spine. Again, keep everything soft and slightly moving, so it doesn't, there's always little wiggles, always little movements. We're not statues, we're not made of brass or stone. Keep breathing into the belly button. And then 1 more breath in here. As you breathe out, we're just going to start to hop this left foot, so the back foot up towards the front foot. I'm going to come away from the wall here because I'm not going to be able to do this. Make sure you've got the space to reach forwards if you haven't come back towards the middle of the mat. You're going to turn this right hand up as if you're holding up a ball towards the sky. Left hand imaginary, holding a ball. Imagine that you're holding a ball down to the sky. We're on the tiptoes on the left foot. And I'm starting to reach forwards. I'm going to have to come further back still on this. And then reach the hands forward to the point that maybe the left tiptoes start to hover off the floor if it's okay. Working into some single leg balance, which is great for stability, great for your mid stance as we go through running. And also we're going to start to squeeze that left glute medius area, so the muscle near the hip. That's really important in stabilising the pelvis. Keep your gaze forwards. If you need to keep touching down, continue to do that, but think about strong through the abdominal area, strong through that left hip, nice and strong through the right big toe as you push that big toe into the floor. Keep breathing. In and out through the nose, keep that focus. Okay, one more breath in. As you breathe out, you're going to bend your right knee and step that left foot again towards the back of the mat. If you're in the middle of your mat, you just need to bring your right foot again back to the top of the mat. So we would be going back into what looks like our warrior two shape, but we're going to carry on going back to the center now. So release the hands down to the floor and then bring the hips up as you start to straighten the legs, and then start to point the toes towards the camera. Or if you're away from the camera now, you might want to just turn and face me, but remember that you've already done the right leg straight. So if you are going in the opposite way to me now, you have to remember that don't follow me, don't follow my side as I go to this side, because it looks like my right, but it's actually my left. Okay, so have a little bit of a wiggle. And then from here, we're going to lift up and take a nice breath in. As we exhale, so we're going to start to slowly come down about hip height with the head. We're turning those toes in slightly and the heels out slightly. Keep the back nice and long and strong into that lower back area. So we're stretching the lower body, but keeping the upper body strong. Again, particularly into that lower back area. So a little bit of work here. Keep lifting your forehead and the crown of your head away from the pelvis. So you're lifting your chest as well away from the floor. So you should feel an arching in the lower back. The lower back muscles should feel on, should be working. Keep the shoulders relaxed, keep the jaw relaxed, keep breathing. We're almost there. And then from here, what we're going to do is start to bend the knees slightly and bring the hands down to the floor. Again, so toes in, heels out. Find the right amount of stretch. So you might want to increase it by taking the feet wider, or you can bring it closer to ease off. If you can't get your hands to the floor, you can use a yoga block or a cushion, or you can keep your knees bent. So we're starting to straighten the legs now. Again, you can use that balance, that aid if you need to, the block or the cushion. And then we're going to start to let your head bow towards the floor. Again, keep the knees bent if you need to a little bit. We're going to go into the back of the thighs, so the hamstring area, and you're going to push your forehead towards where your knees would be. So getting that good deep stretch, but push into the fingertips ever so slightly, not too intense. I'm holding the microphone with my right hand at the moment, sorry. So forehead is facing towards where the knees would be, and your top of your head is facing towards the floor if you can do that. Push into the fingertips, and then find that nice deep work. Keep breathing. And you'll slowly start to lift the head and chest. Again, bend the knees to get your hands up if you need to. Start to bend the knees and relax anyway and come out, but have a little bit of a wiggle. And we're slowly starting to lift your head and chest. So lift your head and chest nice and strong. So your lower back's active as you come up slowly. Push your hips forwards. So as I mentioned, I'm going to go to my left leg now, but it looks like you're right. So remember, we're going left leg. So you might start to go a little bit different to the camera, but you might need to change your body position. So I'm going to turn my left toes out on my right heel onto an angle like this. And then I'm going to start to actually kick that right heel up as I face my hips forward. So make sure that you've got your left foot forwards with your right heel back, pushing down towards the floor, but probably not touching the floor. And then we're going to take the hands up towards the sky as you reach that beach ball above your head. And now what I'm going to get here is, as I lower my hips sinking down, I'm going to push my left knee forwards and push my right heel slightly backwards. And we're going to slow pulse with that. Reach the fingertips up towards the sky to get that work into the ribs and the shoulders. And then maybe you can lift the chin and chest up towards the sky to get a little bit of a back bend. If your neck or your back doesn't like that, just come more upright, come forwards again. Okay, find what feels good in this position here, in the shape, a little bit of a pulse, keep breathing. Again, settling into the awareness of the body. So how does your body feel as we go through this? Does your mind start to say, I want to get out of this, I want to move? Work with that. So just smile at the mind, it wants to be comfortable. But we're putting it into some uncomfortable sensations. We're in control. Take one more breath in. And as you breathe out, your left hand comes over your left foot, right hand back. Bring your back heel down into that warrior two shape. So the back heel, just check that it's on an angle. Again, if you're slightly on the opposite sides with me, that's fine, as long as you've got left foot forwards, right foot back. Back foot on an angle so it helps protect the knee. Reach the fingertips away from each other, but relax the shoulders down. Breathe into the belly button and smile. Again, have that little bit, if you can see, I'm really slightly, like a tree, like the branches of a tree in the wind. I'm just moving really gently, really softly into the shape, just settling, and when I feel some tension, I move it out of my body. I'm breathing in and out through the nose. I'm going to take one more breath in this shape, and as you breathe out, we're going to bring the hands down for a moment. We're going to hop this back foot, so the right foot up towards the left. I'm going to come towards the middle of my mat so I don't go out of view in the camera. And then we're going to reach that left hand, so left foot forward, left hand forward with the palm facing up as if you're holding a ball. Right hand is going to hold a ball, imaginary ball obviously, down as well. And then we're going to slowly come onto the right tiptoes as you get into this front foot a little bit more. Keep the left knee, so the front knee bent, and then just start to reach. So if it's here for you, stay here, or maybe you could play about with just touching the toes off the floor and then come back. Or maybe you could carry on reaching that left hand forwards, kicking that right heel up, and nice and strong through that right hip, glute medius area. So make sure we're just working into that area as you focus your gaze forwards, and keep breathing strong through the tummy area, so strong through that core area. Keep the shoulders relaxing, so don't tense them too heavily. Try not to tense your jaw. Touch down as much as you need it. You're doing really well. Keep breathing. Almost there. So again, this is going to help our mid stance in running. It's going to help our stability and balance. One more breath in. As you breathe out, bend that knee, send the right foot to the back of the mat. And then from there, release the hands, send the hips up, turn the feet to face the center now. Have a little bit of a wiggle. And then it might be easier now if you come back to face me. So from whatever position you was in, come back to face me, wide on your mat, or if your mat's facing the top of the mat, the camera, just go wide on the mat, your feet pointing into the middle of the mat. Okay, have a little bit of a wiggle. Have a little bit of a wiggle. Just reset. And then from here, what we're going to do is we're going to turn the right toes to slightly face towards the top of your mat. Left toes are going to slightly turn inwards as well. So we're kind of on an angle facing forwards here. So it's almost like we're going to go into that triangle pose if you do yoga a lot. We're going to lift up the chin and chest to get nice and tall. Take that imaginary beach ball above the head again. And then from here, we're going to start to reach the beach ball up and forwards. So we're reaching, we're hinging from the hips. We're starting to bring the forehead over in line with where the foot might be. And we're reaching forwards. So if you need to at any point bend your knees, you can do. Keep a tiny bend in that right knee. And keep reaching the hands and the head away from the hips. So we're getting an intense stretch in the back of the legs, but also we're getting strength work into the shoulders and the lower back. So make sure you're lifting your head and chest. You're reaching with the fingertips, so you're strong through the back and the shoulders. Holding this position. Keep breathing into the belly button. I forgot to say that was going over to the left side. So sorry, if you've mirrored me, that's fine. So this is my right, but your left. So we are going both sides on this one. So sorry, I'm got too involved with giving the instructions of the shape. I forgot to say which side was going. Okay, keep breathing. I know it's intense. One more. So let's start to lift up the head and chest, come back through to the center, bend the knees slightly, bring the arms down, give them a break. Whew. Shoulders should have felt that a little bit. Maybe again, back of the thigh was feeling a stretch and some strength work going on. So hamstrings are going to benefit from that, which we do want strong, supple hamstrings. We're going to go to the other side now. So if you're coming with me to my left, which is your right, that's good. If you're going to the other side, that's good too, because we're doing both sides. So we're going to step the toes out. So we're going to step the toes out on this side. I won't say which side because I don't want to confuse you. That's my own fault for saying it, for going wrong. We're going to go this foot, this back foot tends to face again the angle. So we're facing this way if we're here, or we're facing the other way if you want the other side. Going to bring the hands up nice and high, reaching the fingertips up. Nice and strong through the abs, strong through the lower back as we come forward. We're just having this slight bend in this knee, and we're going to start to reach the head and the hands over this foot, and then we keep again reaching the hands up, lifting the head up, and we're digging this heel in here. Although the knee's bent, we're digging the heel in, which creates a stretch, but also a strengthening for this hamstring area. So again, we're creating mobility. Mobility is strength and flexibility together. So mobility is what we really want. So again, you're lifting your head and chest. When you feel your head and chest sink down, keep squeezing upwards towards the sky. You should feel this in the lower back. Should feel like an arching in the lower back as well. Should feel some work going on in your shoulders, or maybe a lot. Keep breathing. Well done, nearly there. And then as you exhale, slowly come back through to the center, bring the hands down, wiggle the hips, have a little bit of a movement. Feel that heat. Where do you feel the body has worked there? Okay, we're going to go feet nice and wide. We're going to go hands onto the hips, and we're going to stretch into the groin and just loosen into the ankles, the knees and the hips with this movement now. So nice, easy kind of squishing and stretching and wiggling and refreshing. So hands to the hips, we're going to bend. This is my right, but your left. We're going to bend the left knee, and we're going to bring the weight and the torso over towards the left side, stretching that right inner thigh. Just feel that first little bit of a stretch. There's some heat in this thigh, I know, but that's fine, that's good. It's again, it's mobility. And then push back up to the center. Relax the shoulders. I'm going to go over to the right side, bend the right knee, stretch the left inner thigh. And then you just go through this nice and slowly now. So go at this pace, as if you're moving through treacle. So inhaling and exhaling wherever you feel comfortable. So you can exhale in deep into it, and then inhaling back up. Or you can do it the opposite way, whichever feels nice for you. If you feel like you could go a little bit deeper, you could start to bring that a little bit down, a little bit further. Pushing both feet always into the floor. So again, there's flexibility and strength in this, which creates mobility. Don't judge your body against my body as well. So make sure wherever if your body's only moving here, just this little bit here, that's fine, we're working on it. You're a work in progress. We all are a work in progress. Keep the shoulders and the jaw relaxed. And keep breathing. It's really important that the breath keeps flowing. As we just continue to work through this again, nice, good kind of stretching and strengthening movement. So how have you felt with this practice? Was it a challenge? Did it feel good to do? If you've enjoyed this practice, please do. 2 seconds, just give us a thumbs up. If you're feeling extra generous, just put thanks for the video, Ash, on the comments. Share it with a fellow friend or family member that would benefit from this practice, and subscribe to the channel if you're not already. And you might think that, oh, I ain't going to do that. There's no point in doing it. But that is supporting my channel. It's helping my channel grow, reach more runners. We're growing this community together. And I really do greatly appreciate that. The more runners that are benefiting from the videos, the more people that are coming into this community, I'm just going to carry on creating more content for everyone because it's worthwhile. People are getting benefit from it. So we're coming back up to the centre. Have a little wiggle. Just pause for a moment. Mindfully check the body. How does the body feel? I can feel myself, a lot of work gone in to the body. And that's what we're working for. That sense of having done something, but not too aggressive for the body. So we're not having to do any CrossFit style movements. We're not having to smash the body with high intensity interval training. We're not having to chuck weights around. This is perfect for that. Like I mentioned, if you're needing to do something on a non-running day, this is the perfect kind of work for you. So well done.